Cheap wares for cheap folks. Welcome back. I'm sure.
Back. Back again?
So I told her, you get that off my roof, or I'll come up there and I'll do it myself.
You didn't. What did she do?
She broke a hole through my roof and just pushed it through into my house.
Well, it's not on your roof anymore, is it?
This may be the most foolish thing I've ever gotten myself into.
None of the clerks believe my story.
Envoy, hello. I'm glad to see you on your feet. Kai.
Tej.
I'm surprised they let you in here.
I'm surprised you're still gainfully employed.
I wouldn't say that. He's just curious company for you to keep. It's nothing like that. You run into all sorts of characters around here, is all. Some more polite than others.
Well,
Kai?
come on, it's funny. Tej caused a ruckus last time he was slumming it at the Ballot Rock. You were trying to kill a man, if I remember right. I had to put you outside.
You threw me into the canal.
You lived.
That water's filthy. I had the runs for 3 days.
Gods, Tej. The envoy doesn't need to know that. Yeah, but now you'll never think of Tej the same way again, will you? And now he'll never think of you the same way either.
Let's not make more of it than it was. I shouldn't have said anything. The fellow cheated me. I couldn't let that slide. Or he'd think we were all marks.
It was over a dice game, right? Tej here has a gambling problem.
Great. Let's air all my troubles. Is there anything else?
The bartender sleeping with your girlfriend.
You're lying.
You sure about that?
We'll talk about this later.
I'm not breaking up with her for you. Just so we're clear.
That's more than enough. Thank you. Was there anything I could help you with, Envoy? Naturally, sir. How can I help you? What would you like to know? If you're looking for a particular year, the first thing you should know about Paradise is that this isn't the kind of place where the locals keep records. And though it might be considered a distant backwater by the rest of the world, this city is the height of civilization by the standards of the living lands. As for who calls this place home, I suspect you could find a criminal, confidence man, or prophet from every civilization in the world here.
Hey, come on. You're gonna give the envoy the wrong idea. We've got draft dodgers, courtesans, and revolutionaries too. You know, all the fun people.
In any event, as far as I can tell, Paradise has been this way since its inception. Thus the eclectic display of architectural styles. If nothing else, this city is a reflection of the countless people who have passed through it on their way to the interior. Depends on who you ask. Ambassador Heelgard will tell you that our remit here is to establish a secure and orderly environment from which to engage in trade. Inquisitor Liudwin will tell you we're here to break the frontier.
So, which is it?
Why not both? That's where you come in. Whether you find your desires aligning with the ambassadors or the inquisitors, neither can succeed until the Dream Scourge is ended. We are only beginning to see its effects here in Dawnshore, but the closer to the center of the island you go, the worse it gets. That bear you and the ambassador encountered in the Strangle Route isn't even the worst of it, and the tide of this soul plague is rising higher every day. Look, for all that I complain about this backwater, there are good people here. Same as anywhere else. People who want to be able to walk to the market in the morning for their bread and eggs and know they won't be mugged. People who like it when the mail comes on time and their skates are made from real copper and their neighborhood peeping Tom ends up in the stocks. Those people, good and honest people, who pay their debts and honor their contracts and remember to thank the gods, they like us a lot. The Resistance, as such, are largely a group of misfits and criminals intent on undermining the rule of law. They take out loans with small Adiran banking houses and do not pay them, then assault the bankers who attempt to collect. They agree to contracts with families in Adir seeking homes, and when their ships arrive, promptly abandon them. When we levy a small tax to fund the repair of city roads, they set our counting house on fire. And when our fishermen return to port, they board their ships and sink them.
That's certainly one way to characterize them. It's not exactly wrong, but it's not exactly right either.
For decades, people like them ruled this city through fear. We imposed order, and now they oppose us. You, unfortunately, were caught in the crossfire. Of course. There's a lot of ground to cover. Could you be more specific? Ah, the age-old question. Who's bigger? Adir is, naturally, by a wide margin. And were we at the Cartographers Guild in High Crown, I could show you on one of their globes. As it is, we must make do in the theater of our minds. The Living Lands are located in the far north of Aora. Adir is southwest of the Living Lands, situated along the equator. The Living Lands are more arid than Adir, and the island is more prone to storms. But its many deep valleys protect the various townships from the worst of the weather. Topographically speaking, the Living Lands are a place of extremes. Deep inland, mountains rise high enough to rival those of the White March, blanketed year-round in snow. While east of the volcano of Mount Forja is an acid sea that sinks far below the level of the ocean. The lands between them are riven with deep clefts in the earth and isolated by wastelands of sun-baked sand dunes. I'll share what I can. There is no singular authority in the Living Lands.
Not yet, anyway.
I shudder to think what the Living Lands would look like under your rule.
Well, to start, there'd be a lot more brothels.
Charming. Power is invested in the leaders of the various townships scattered across the island. The largest are Fjord, Thirdborn, and Solace. None of which, I will note, are as safe and orderly as Paradise. Fjord Messaverno is located in a valley known locally as the Emerald Stair, named for the terraced rice paddies that cover its hillsides. It is our closest neighbor. The city, if you can call it that, was founded 50 years ago by animancers from the Valian Republics. Apparently, the laws governing animancy weren't lenient enough in the republics. So the city's founders came to the Living Lands, where they could practice their discipline more freely. Currently, Fjord is governed by a man named Ignacy Vidaro. Rather inept to hear the ambassador talk about him. Fjord's farmers supply most of the grain and vegetables we eat here in Paradise. Or it did. Their shipments have been infrequent lately. Something about a blight in the fields. In any event, I believe that covers Fjord. The Valian Republics are a collection of city-states in the Eastern Reach, southeast of our former colony, the Deerwood. The Republics began life as colonies of the Grand Empire of Valia, hence the name. But as Grand Valia's economy collapsed, well, the colony saw an opportunity to escape the influence of the Empire of Origin, and they seceded, much as the Deerwood did from Adir. Now a mature confederation in their own right, the Republics have recently indulged their own expansionist ambitions in the Deadfire Archipelago. Through their merchants in the Valian Trading Company, the Republics will sell you anything you could ever wish to buy.
Up to and including people.
We should count ourselves lucky they've had no interest in the Living Lands. In a struggle between our Emperor and the Republic's great dukes, well, I doubt we would come out on top. But if anyone asks, I was not the one who told you that. Everything you need to know about Thirdborn is in its name. It was founded by the third-born children of Rawatai, Navy dropouts, smugglers, and hands for hire. Almawa and Orleans, mostly.
Home, sweet home.
You're free to go back any time you like.
I like my current circumstances just fine, thanks.
They are people, in short, who couldn't cut it in the civilized world and had to make room on the margins. Unfortunately, they are currently besieged by the Dream Scourge. We have sent some troops to lend what help we can, and the mayor, Temerity was appropriately grateful, but I don't know how long they'll hold out. Rauatai is one of the old empires, every bit as storied as Grand Valia or our native Adir. If Adir is to the southwest of the Living Lands, Rauatai is to the southeast. And unlike our home, their small continent is racked by terrible storms. This is due, or rather was due, to the island's proximity to Andra's mortar, the unending super hurricane that once hid the ancient city of Ukaizo. Rauatai is largely peopled by Aumaua, descended from those who fled the Deadfire Archipelago centuries ago, when Andra pulled the moon, Ioni Brather, into the sea. They are an aggressive, militant culture, and personally I find their obsession with gunpowder rather quaint. They are also our chief rivals on the world stage.
I don't think they see it that way.
No?
Well, as far as Navy brass is concerned, Adir doesn't really rate.
Now you're just making things up.
Sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but we don't think about you at all.
Solace is, what is there to say, really?
Yeah, they tend to have that effect on people.
The trouble is, I don't know much about Solace. Nobody does. They are an isolationist community of Pagrunan dwarves who live in the forbidding ways of Galawain's tusks. They don't let outsiders into their lands, and they don't let their people out of them.
Some folks get out from time to time, but they can't ever go back. And the ones who survive aren't eager to talk about their experiences.
People aside, the land itself is incredibly hostile. The island's volcano, Mount Forja, rests at the heart of the region, and it's recently become active. Half the land is lava rock, and the other half is, well, literally lava. I don't know why anyone lives there. I have to assume they're all insane.
You have no idea.
Naturally. The Pagrunan are a unique community of mountain dwarves originating in Old Valia. As a people, they've made their name as explorers, builders, miners. No doubt you've seen their ruins in your travels, here, back home in Adir, and all across the world. They maintain a rich tradition of oral storytelling, chanted magics, and ritual carving, which they take great pains to record and transmit across their various communities. Even the most physically isolated Pagrun is not alone. Somewhere, one of their people is thinking of them and planning an expedition. Abidan must cherish them.
You sound like you admire them.
I suppose I do. I'm an open book. Consider yourself lucky. Inquisitor Ludwine is the commander of the Steel Garrote in Paradise. Were you to ask her, she'd say she keeps the peace. But she doesn't keep it so much as prosecute it. As ruthlessly as the ambassador will let her. She's also a veteran of the Steel Garrote's campaign in the Deadfire, where she died.
She's a Death Guard. Well, that explains a lot.
I don't know what happened to her there, but I suppose Wodaka wasn't done with her yet. I only met her once. She was a mid-level member of the Steel Garrote then, chasing Oathbreakers who'd fled Adiran law. She'd come back to the Imperial Archives to borrow a map to a place called Oathbinder's Sanctum. I remember she was furious because the map was quite poor. She worried about finding the place, about properly executing her duty to her god. She wanted, I think, to do a good job. So, while clearly she has changed, in some sense, I'd say she's much the same. Death Guards are surpassingly rare. Some of the secretaries who traveled with our dignitaries in the Deadfire spoke of one named Iser, a devotee of Berith, who guards the hanging sepulchres there. But I've heard of no others except those I've read about in the histories, or, as you say, in stories. They are people, most often paladins or priests, so devoted to a cause that they simply refuse to pass on to the wheel when they die. Their soul haunts their body, the passion required to sustain them devours their flesh, and they swiftly turn to bone. I've never read a history nor tale of a death guard that did not end with them going quite mad. When they lose their capacity to care for anything but their cause, they cannot love. And when they cannot love, they cannot be merciful. And so everything before them becomes only an obstacle. Think upon your promises and die. That's the litany of the Steel Garrote, usually said right before they kill you. They're an order of paladins born and bred in Adir, though clearly they've found plenty of work beyond our borders. Their remit is simple but comprehensive. They punish all who break their oaths. In practice, that has historically meant contracts. One lord or merchant will hire the Steel Garrote to bring a duplicitous rival to justice.
Fun bunch. What are they doing in Paradise?
Since the events in the Deadfire, their operations have expanded. The Steel Garrote has always been associated with Wodeka. Now, they are explicitly her order. And they go wherever Wodeka's priests, or Wodeka herself, believes there is a need for them to go. The Living Lands are a dangerous, lawless frontier in sore need of order. Thus, they are here. Or so the Steel Garrote say. Do you think so? I've always found her inflexibility comforting. Wodeka's edicts are clear. If you obey her laws, pursue justice, punish the guilty, and give fealty to the Emperor, then you have pleased her, and I aim to please. But Wodeka does not trust. She demands that you declare yourself for her again and again. Her every request is a test, and her every test is an opportunity to disappoint her. I appreciate a god who makes you work for their grace. I don't want anything given to me for free. By all means. I trust whomever told you to consult a watcher also told you to avoid the one in the city. She is a liar and a thief.
Oh, did she take your money?
No. Anyway, watchers are individuals capable of perceiving souls. The soul may be in a living body, or it may simply be lingering, waiting to pass into the in-between. In either case, interacting with a soul allows a watcher to glimpse a person's past lives or their most deeply buried memories. Watchers are incredibly rare, and in Adir, highly controlled. Many people wish to know who they were in a previous life, and do not like what they learn. The smart ones stay hidden. They do not announce their powers, perhaps not even to themselves. Even a careful watcher risks inadvertently revealing themselves by knowing something they shouldn't know. Of the ones that are public, little is concretely known. But we hear things. They make good judges in Wodeka's courts, so long as they're controlled. The lords, it's rumored, buy and sell them to collect blackmail on their enemies. But I suspect many watchers are imprisoned or executed, or simply kill themselves. A watcher doesn't need your cooperation or consent to read your soul. They could learn everything about you, terribly damaging things about your parentage, for example, or things you did in a past life, without you ever knowing. You see how this could threaten the established order, undermine our betters' right to rule.
Yeah, but that's just one side to it. Imagine how a watcher feels, knowing what a threat they are to the status quo. I don't know about you, but I wouldn't be keen on kings and emperors wanting me dead. Sounds like a lot of hassle.
Don't sell yourself short, Kai. I don't doubt you're an expert in people wanting you dead.
You're not wrong.
I rarely am, in any case. The Watcher is fundamentally a tragic figure. Of the few that survive our world, most are destined to go mad. Yes and no. So far as I understand it, a Watcher is born a Watcher. But it takes an event, often something shocking or traumatic, to bring a Watcher's powers to the fore. So you may be a Watcher, or I may be, or Kai, and we might not even know. Well, the Watcher of Cadnua is legendary. It was their castle Aethys destroyed when he began his campaign of terror in the Dead Fire. Oh, by the Queen, I hope I get to meet them someday. In terms of local interest, you'll have heard of Runid, of course. And there was Ida. You may not know about her. She was a watcher from the Living Lands. I believe she was an Orlin. She must have died, 150 years ago. Slain by a great serpent, gods treat kindly with her soul. Doubtless there are others, but most don't meet a good end. I'm an open book. Ulfric, I did. Terrible shame what happened to his brother. It sounds like his injuries were severe. I saw you two talking. I hope you can help him, Envoy. Oh, that's a relief. Cadman is a good kid, cannier than his brother, and wasted on those glorified tomb robbers. You're the only one we have with the expertise for that kind of field work.
Aside from the people in trouble down there, which says something to the danger in that cave.
Whatever I think of the Expeditions Corps, they serve a vital purpose to the Empire. I'm glad it's you going after them. Well, you'll notice I'm nearly always here. If that man sleeps, I don't know about it. He wouldn't say, but I believe he relied on the Claviger far more than he lets on. And without the Claviger's steady hand at the rudder, the ambassador's struggling just to bail water from the sinking ship that is Paradise.
Claviger Aemon might have tolerated a little more chaos than the ambassador liked, but he kept this place humming. He's not someone you can easily replace, and not with one man alone.
It's a difficult job. The pressure sometimes gets the better of him. But if he loses his temper now and then, I can't blame him for it. Better him than me. He doesn't know what to do with himself. You know, in our first days here, he'd often walk to the end of the docks at sunrise. The work was done, the embassy was closed, and he'd still be wearing the same clothes he'd slept in at his desk. And he'd just stare out over the sea. He always seemed dissatisfied back then. I suppose, years later, he still does. Be serious. Most of us here didn't get sent to the frontier because we were anybody's favorite. The longer I'm here, the more likely the people who matter are to forget me. And I'd actually like to get back to High Crown someday. Get married, have a few kids, take the civil exams, and settle into a permanent clerkship.
I guess there are worse ways to spend a life.
Like rotting in this embassy. By all means. Should you ever need me, I will be here. Safe travels, Envoy.
I'll keep trying. But there's not much to be done for Fort Northreach.
Envoy, is it really you? I can't believe you're alive. When they dragged you to Liviana's clinic, I assumed the worst. How do you feel? Not even death can slow you down, I see. But we'll return to the topic of your untimely demise shortly. Our first order of business is your purpose here in the Living Lands. You said you had a missive for me from the Emperor? Very good. I'm eager to see what our Emperor intends. Now, His Majesty names you a loyal servant of the Adiran Empire, and an extension of the throne's authority. Thank goodness. At least someone understands the gravity of our situation. With that, I had better news for him. You've seen how wild the Living Lands has become, both in nature and in politics. Sometimes I think the island has a mind of its own. No sooner had you arrived than you found yourself at the center of our troubles. Well, not to mention your abrupt and untimely death. This embassy has no shortage of political foes, but the Dream Scourge is what keeps me up at night. You've seen firsthand what it can do in nature. We can't let it reach the cities. Thank you, Envoy. The island is in capable hands. Inquisitor Ludwig thinks the plague is a distraction. She's more concerned about these local rebels fighting against the Empire. Your instincts do you credit. They were paradisans once, law-abiding laborers. Now, they're fugitives and oath-breakers hiding amongst the populace. They've sabotaged our work, killed our soldiers, and the final straw, attacked you out in the open. Something about a labor dispute gone wrong, I think. The Steel Garrote got involved, and it turned quite ugly.
A lot of disputes arise because people here have a strong aversion to being told what to do.
I won't lie to you, Envoy. Our position is tenuous. If we can't even defend ourselves, how are we to defend the Living Lands? But defend it we must, for the sake of everyone who calls this island home. Inquisitor Ludwig demands that someone hang for the attempt on your life. These Paradisan rebels must face justice. Ludwig goes where she likes, haunting the Living Lands like a vengeful spirit. She'll reappear when she chooses, and not a moment sooner. Let's make sure to give her some good news for a change.
Not many get a chance to solve their own murder, you know. I know someone who could help. A dwarven tracker named Marius. Kith or beast, there's little he can't find. He's staying at the Grinning Ballarrock, not far from Liviana's infirmary. We just take the main road east to the market, then head down the stairs and cross the canal. Rough part of town, even by the standards of Paradis. Marius is from the Tusks, about the harshest and remotest place the gods ever created, even by the standards of the Living Lands.
Trickery, lies. The gods did not build this place.
Let's just say no one survives out there without picking up a few skills, the kind we'll need if we're going to find hidden assassins. Especially if they're from the streets of Paradis.
I suggest you recruit as many allies as you can, but choose carefully. They, like you, will represent the Empire. Before we can send you off to parts unknown, we need assurances from the local healer that you're fully recovered. After all, you survived a brush with death. The health of your body is one thing, the health of your soul is another. An unusual course of treatment, but who am I to argue? Remember, the assassin is out there. You have the element of surprise. I suggest you use it. Oh, I wish I could see the killer's face when they realize the hunter has become the hunted. We'll talk more of the Dream Scourge when you return. Until then, Envoy.
How about we start with Marius at the Grinning Ballarrock? Besides, I could use a drink after all this.
still can't believe you're alive.
Listen, I wanted to talk to you about Juliana. I know you're not asking my opinion, but for what it's worth, I appreciate you understanding her situation. I couldn't agree with you more. Out here, you've got to live and let live. Principles are one thing, but you can't let them get in the way of basic decency. I wish more of your countrymen took that view. Rebellion's more like our natural state of being in the living lands. People on the island don't much like being told what to do. In fact, many come here specifically for that reason. Paradise used to be a lot more violent. Now, bandits like the Sparrowhawks at least have to limit their activities. Of course, that change has come thanks to Ambassador Heelguard's Adiran troops. And the Stilgarrote. Ludwine and her paladins have been busy in the hinterlands. It's all rumor and speculation, but I don't think they're making your cause any friends. They say she's hunting down so-called agitators, flattening entire settlements that stand in her way. Of course, all the news reaching Paradise is jumbled together. Stories about the Dream Scourge, the Stilgarrote, and the weird happenings that are almost commonplace around here. So it's hard to say what's true. I think you're right. I don't know that these rebels are all that organized yet. But where there's foam, there's rocks, as the saying goes. My favorite subject. What do you want to know? Enjoy the ocean breeze while we're here.
You made it. Mine.
So, you're the one they all crow about, eh? Best hunter and guide in all of Dawnshire? Ha! The mighty Marius, deep in his cups, ready to take on the deadliest prey, providing they're asleep at the time.
Right. Take another sip of my cool. Rude not to finish a drink someone bought for you.
No wonder you're hiding behind a mug. You're too worried about being polite to survive out there.
The dwarf there is Marius. Best tracker I know.
I heard you're from Solace Keep. How great a survivor could you be, hiding behind stone walls all your life?
You don't know anything about me, you Adir Nimdut. So maybe go back and take another blessed day sip.
But here you are. Tell me, how does one get kicked out of a place that never lets anyone leave?
Dukte Dragu Sakasat Jitule. You wanna talk so much, I'll cut you a second mouth across your throat.
I think this is about to get interesting.
I knew you were blessed in Nimdut the moment I saw you coming. Thought maybe I'd teach you a lesson. So I paid the bartender a few gold to drop a tiny bit of Widow's Kiss into a cup and serve your drink in it. Cramps should be starting in a few minutes, so, if you want to fight, we should go ahead and get started.
You know your stuff, but I doubt they do.
Envoy, you see? Will you stand by and allow this maniac to poison a fellow subject of the Emperor? Oh, I can feel it. Gods, you.
Oh, that is quick. You better get to a healer before the poison spreads to your brain.
You wait, Marius. I'll be back. Hopefully.
Well, that was something.
Marius, this is the infamous Adiran envoy. Envoy? Marius.
Well, any friend of Kai's is definitely a person. You know your poisons. It was a test. That guy's such a Nimdut, he thought he was doomed. And he actually believed I could pay the bartender to poison someone's drink. Gods, the taverns in Adir must be rough. Smart. The effects are more widely known. Let their imagination run wild on them. Noted. If I'm not mistaken, You're looking for someone to help find the people who killed you. I need to see the scene of the crime, over by the town gates. I promise there's something left there we can use to track them. Bloodstains, footprints, darts left behind. If we find anything at all, we can find your assassins. We'll figure this out, Avowed. Don't you worry.
See, Marius? Told you I wasn't ready to hang it up yet.
I had it under control, Avowed. But thanks.
Ah, it's the principle of the thing. Now, what'll it be?
Now, why would I want to leave a mark right by that pile of crates?
This is one of the few towns where it's almost safe to relax.
Right here. This is where the envoy fell.
If it were me, I'd take the shot from up there above the embassy. Let's see if we can get up there. With any luck, your assassin will be as bad at hiding their tracks as they were at making sure you stay dead.
Envoy, I've got something.
Smells familiar, but I can't place it. Whatever it is, it's not used for game hunting or keeping beasts out of your garden. You already met the apothecary. I'd suggest we pay him another visit.
Seems like a good place to start.
It tells us they were hunting you. Whoever did this takes pride in their work. They made sure this stuff would kill you. Go back to the market and up the stairs to the east. You'll see a large building with a big window on top.
The Mermaid's Den. Nice place. We should say hello to Juliana while we're there.
The apothecary is in the back alley. Any luck? We could track down who made this poison. Find your killers.
Lonely? Tense? Visit the Mermaid's Den. Well-loved bathhouse is more popular than ever.
Don't be a stranger.
That's the apothecary we're looking for.
Huh. Aren't you the Outlander who died in the streets? How are you... Gah, it doesn't matter.
You've got to help. He's gonna hurt me again.
Everyone take a deep breath. No one is hurting anyone else today. Right?
You seem to like beating up on little guys. Want to take a run at me?
Listen to me, dead man. What happens here does not concern you. Walk away. Ha! You and Deerins always think everyone's out to get you. If I wanted to kill you, you'd be dead already. This is getting tiresome. I wasn't really gonna hurt the apothecary, but I'm really, really gonna hurt you.
Last person I know who did it died with her boots full of Sokka.
Well, I heard the godlike have gold in their bellies. We can't both be right, so let's see who's wrong. Stand still, Outlander. This is gonna hurt.
Don't mess with us!
This one's mine.
Hold
That all
it,
you
you!
have?
There you are, swine. This time, you're gonna stay.
I can't believe they're dead. It's so...
I was just getting warmed up.
Envoy, thank you for dealing with those miscreants. There's a plague on these streets, and they are a symptom.
A gang of bullies shaking down honest folk? Seems more like the cause to me.
It's no more dangerous here than anywhere else. It's just that monsters here have knives instead of fangs.
You even killed Thala, the biggest, baddest of them all. The Sparrowhawks are gonna come after you. They don't. That's the problem. You don't have to come to my defense. No one sticks their neck out for anyone in these parts. I find that hard to believe, but who am I to contradict the one who saved my skin? What'll it be today, Envoy? I know you didn't come for herbal remedies. Poison? Let me take a look. Wait, I recognize that from my wares. It's oil distilled from Saint Ettore, a berry native to the Living Lands. Hey, look, the Living Lands is a dangerous place. All right, take a nap in the forest and you'll wake up dead more often than not.
Not if you know better than to take a nap in the blessed A forest.
Walking through the streets of Paradise is supposed to be a safer proposition. Yet, our friend took an arrow that was coated in this stuff.
And before you ask, I can't tell you who bought the poison. If word got around that I was ratting my clients out to the Adherents, it'd be the end of me. Damn, I was afraid of that. If you made an enemy of the locals, this won't be the last attempt on your life. The truth is, I never saw the customer's face. They wore a hood. A monk's cowl, I believe. But I can tell you that Sanatore is used in religious rituals. Prophets and seers will do anything to leave their bodies.
If you want mystic types, you want to go visit the Temple of Andra. Probably the only reason you'd want to go there.
On the other hand, Claviger Amond was cozy with plenty of mystics and oddballs. We could check out his estate for clues.
Go past the Hightown Gate to the north, then follow the road eastward until you reach the statue of Andra. Look, most Paradisans don't like the adherents. We've been here for generations, and we knew how to handle our own. Adir changed that, and not for the better. Some of us have been more wronged by Adir than others. Well, wronged by the Steel Garrote. They're a minority of Paradisans, but they're willing to kill to strike back at Adir, even at an Imperial envoy.
Careful where you say that. The last thing Paradis needs is Adiran panic.
I hope that I've been able to assist you in some small way. Good luck in your investigation, Envoy.
So we're going to the temple to find a mystic to ask about the poison. Not what I imagined my day would be like.
My potions are brewed with local ingredients.
I don't think we're going to be welcome here for long. Thala's sparrowhawks will be sniffing around here any minute. And since that's not the last skirmish we'll find ourselves in, I say we take this opportunity to stock up on some better equipment. If you want a guarantee of getting the good stuff, I recommend Paradis's main market.
Gotcha!
Here they come!
He was our number
Take out our
one,
leader!
and you killed him! Hey, hold
Behind you! On your left!
I hear someone? Found you!
You think you can just take out our leader?
I think I sprained my shoulder.
Take him down. You killed him. Flip for the right. On your right. Nice. Hold it. Stay down. Right behind you. Show me what you got!
Found you! You think you could just take out our leader?
Hey, hold it! To the left! That's one for us.
Have to admit, I think I underestimated you. You've done more to clean up these streets than the rest of your countrymen combined. Oh, I've noticed, all right. Just thought it would be rude to point out the obvious. Thanks for the help, Envoy. Take care out there.
Good. You made it back. Good. You made it back.
I knew you'd be back.
Envoy. Some lockdown, eh? People just seem to come and go as they please.
The envoy's here. You're gonna regret this.
Well done.
Nice job, everyone. Hi, Margaret. Don't worry, it just gets fancier from here.
Claviger Aemond allowed these interlopers onto our streets. And where did it get him? Slain! Murdered!
The Claviger deserved better!
The Adherents never should have come here!
Do you really think the Adherents killed the Claviger?
Are you kidding? Even the High Inquisitor wouldn't do that. They know it turned the whole city against them.
But the city is already under lockdown. They could take it from the inside.
Take it? The militia would put them down in an afternoon.
Don't sign any petitions, no matter what anyone says.
I'm telling you, that so-called Watcher is a fraud.
Excuse me, are you going to see the Watcher? Oh, good. Maybe you could help us settle a disagreement. My friend and I are metaphysical philosophers, and we have hit a bit of a snag.
If you want to run, now's our chance.
Don't mind me. I'll be over by that building not caring an ounce about this.
I say watchers are a hoax, and he says watchers are magical, all-knowing windows into the afterlife. Ugh, I was afraid you were gonna say that.
Come on, it'll be fun. We'll go in together and learn all about your soul.
This isn't a game, but fine. Guess I'll try anything once. I'm a philosopher, after all.
Thank you for your perspective, Envoy. We'll trouble you no more.
You ever meet people who have too much free time on their hands?
Ugh, I missed it. Did we win?
She told me to go see a man about a cure. She said he had an elixir.
Long as there's people in the city, there's merchandise to be found and sold. An Adiran? Come to see my wares? Well, don't I feel blessed? Your kind don't go scrounging in alleys every day, do you? The Empire doesn't have much of an interest in people like me. Where are my manners? Name's Cutty. I'm a trader of lost things. They come my way, I peddle them for people like you to find. Now wait, you don't need to jump straight to shutting me down. I'm sure we can work with each other. What's your voice? Sveth? Coin? By all means, take some silver. I knew you could be reasonable. Now that that's taken care of, can I help you find anything? Whatever you need, discretion guaranteed.
I had a guy ask me whether dreams had a taste here once.
Looks like they forgot to man this checkpoint. Ever. These have been boarded up since the lockdown started. Nice place for thieves to hide out.
Shame a perfectly good house has to sit around empty. There's a joke about Paradis' government in here, somewhere.
Get him! Found him!
Number one, hold on.
Next one's mine.
If you have to ask, you can't afford it.
Got some.
Did those just blink at me?
Hear me, Paradise. Did we not come here to escape the Empire? Do the Adherents not exemplify everything we hate?
We must stand against tyranny!
The gods will make them pay!
Hey, you have to check in with me to enter this part of the... never mind. Doesn't matter. Bum-dee-da, da-da-dee. Here we go again.
Oh, bless my soul. The Adherent envoy. It's the envoy. Get him!
Right behind you.
Is someone there? Oh.
One for you!
Not bad, Marius.
There's something here.
Ugh.